If you have a UAE residency permit, a Dubai visa, specifically a 2-year visa or residency permit issued through a free zone company or through a mainland company or a friend of yours employed you in Dubai, you have to know this information. If you spend more than 180 days outside of the UAE and you try to enter again, whether you're going for a conference or you're going because it's cold in your country, but you've spent more than 180, exactly 180 days outside of the UAE after getting this permit, you will not be allowed back into the country and your residency permit and visa might be cancelled as soon as you arrive into the UAE, because there is a requirement that if you have a 2-year residency permit issued through a company, that you need to go to the UAE once every 180 days. That's been a requirement forever. And we recently saw a case of a guy that landed in the UAE after spending 190 days outside of the UAE. His residency permit got cancelled. He spent a couple of days detained at the airport, and then he was just sent to his origin country. And I don't want that to be you. And I know that a lot of people watch this channel, they get Dubai residency permits, they open a Dubai company, maybe you do it through us, and you start traveling the whole world. You don't really spend that much time in Dubai, you just wanted it maybe as a tax base in the future, maybe as a place to have some friends, some networking later on, maybe you just got a residency permit just to have it in your back pocket. And if you're not spending time in the UAE, and you want to go back after you spent more than 180 days outside, at any point, you have to apply for what's called a re-entry permit. This re-entry permit essentially allows you to go back into the UAE after, let's say, 200 days of being outside, or 300 days of being outside. But you need a valid reason. That valid reason needs to be family, for example. Maybe your girlfriend or wife was having a baby in another country, so you had to stay with her, and you couldn't go to the UAE. Maybe it was you had a wedding that you needed to plan and properly do in another country. Maybe it was a business problem that you had, so you needed to take care of some real estate problem in Canada or wherever. You have a valid reason as to why you spent more than 180 days outside of the UAE. This re-entry permit takes a while. It takes more than a week to obtain. So if you're planning to go to the UAE in 3 days and you have your tickets booked, first class Emirates, and you've been outside more than 180 days, just know that you might be detained at the airport, you might not be allowed to enter, and your residency permit and your visa might be canceled, because that's one of the requirements to keep that thing active in the first place. And a lot of people don't know this. That's why I'm making this PSA video. Now, if you don't want to have to go to the UAE once every 180 days, you want to get a golden visa. A lot of our clients, they start out getting that 2-year free zone visa. They open a company, they get that 2-year residency permit. Then they realize, actually, I like Dubai a lot, but I have some interest in Bali, or I'm spending time in Mexico, or I'm spending time in wherever that is not close to Dubai, or they don't see themselves going to Dubai in the next, let's say, 7-8 months, but they still want to have that residency permit. Then I encourage you to get a golden visa. A lot of our clients have bought property for 2 million dirham, 550,000 US dollars or more. And then with that golden visa, which is for 10 years, you don't need to visit every 180 days. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can go all over the world, and then after 200 days, you want to go to Dubai because it's cold wherever you are. You go to Dubai, and then nothing happens because you have a golden visa. And it's much easier to deal with a golden visa than it is to deal with that 2-year visa where you need to go to the UAE once every 180 days, or you need to apply for a re-entry permit, and then you might be detained at the airport and ask why you've been outside. So overall, it's going to be a complete hassle. And I've seen stories of people get basically deported back to their origin country, and then their residency permit gets canceled because they didn't apply for this little permit. A golden visa is also obtainable if you are some sort of special talent. We help some people through that, and a lot of people can be special talents, like a YouTuber or a consultant with a big following can be a special talent, or you invest into a company, or you have a certain amount of money in the bank or in a business. You can also get a 10-year golden visa, and you don't need to spend any time in the UAE to keep that active. Maybe you're spending time in other countries, maybe you're still living in your origin country like Canada, Australia, UK, but at some point in the future, you see yourself living in the UAE, or you see yourself maybe visiting constantly, and you want to have that residency permit, you want to have some banking in the UAE, maybe you just want to have banking diversification. You want to have a bank account somewhere else that you can use all over the world. You want to rack up points in Amex somewhere else in the world. You want to have some friends in a place that is a good hub for networking, or go to a crypto conference sometime in the future. Don't do it through the 2-year visa because you need to go once every 6 months. Do it through property. Do it through investing in a company. Do it through showing money in the bank, and then it's going to be way easier. And then at any point in the future, you can move to the UAE, and you also don't need to renew it every 2 years. That's why we're doing a lot more golden visas now. You have a full golden visa team helping you with this in Dubai because it's much easier to handle that particular 10-year visa. You don't need to do a medical test every 2 years. You only need to do a medical test in the beginning, which is the same for the 2-year visa. But with the 2-year visa, you need to do it every time you renew it. So every 2 years, you need to go again to the medical test. You need to do the whole process again. Whereas with the 10-year, you don't need to worry about it for the next decade. Important to note that if you're a crypto investor and you want to get a golden visa, it's also possible to buy property with crypto, and it's also possible to invest in a company or even cash out that crypto to a bank account in the UAE and then apply for the golden visa based not on your crypto investments, because they actually have to be investments in the country, but the origin of those funds can be crypto. A lot of countries don't allow you to, for example, buy property if the funds are from crypto. They don't allow you to buy that property in crypto. There has to be some sort of bank transfer involved. In this case, you can just send crypto, get a particular investment into a company, or get money in the bank directly in Dubai. We can help you with that. We can manage that transaction, and then you get that 10-year golden visa through your crypto. Thousands of millionaires are moving to the UAE every year, specifically Dubai, and it's really a hub of wealth in the world, but I don't want you to get detained at the airport just because you spent a couple of days outside of the country. If you want to know if a UAE golden visa is right for you, what types of clients we tend to recommend the golden visa for, you can check out this video right here on the UAE golden visa. Is it right for you? UAE golden visas are exploding. More than 100,000 investors have received them. Is it the right one for you? Check it out right here.